What up? What up? Welcome to the Delay of Game episode 134. This is the Average Man's Perspective on Football. I am your co-host, Marcus. Joining me on the panel tonight is Herman. Say what up, Herman.
Hey.
Once again, my sound effects is acting up. I'm about to get
God, we really need to work on this off the air.
I'm about to get a new soundboard, okay? Next up is Brian. Say what up, Brian.
Hey, how y'all doing? I got my own sound effects.
You can't hear it.
Yes, you can.
Next up, we got last but never least, we got Mark. Say what up, Mark.
Good evening.
Thank you, Mark. We don't want no stupid sound effects. Good Lord.
Hey, you stop muting me, buddy.
You stop playing
I mean, when you can get my regular music, I'll let you handle it. But right now, you struggling, so I gotta take over.
I just want to say how pressed y'all are because y'all beat a sorry team. You think you did?
We'll get to that. We'll get to that. Later on in the show.
Don't do it, Marcus.
Oh my goodness, y'all pressed. I swear to God, if by a miracle, if y'all win a Super Bowl, this show is done. We never done.
You're right. You're right.
Don't worry, hey Marcus.
You will be on the air.
Marcus, you don't have to worry. Both their heads gonna be too big for the screens anyway.
Yeah, you ain't lying. You ain't lying.
I mean, just one. One hot topic should be what's the overreaction of week one. This is the overreaction. This is the overreaction. Before we get started, I want to encourage everyone to like, share, and subscribe. Especially if you're watching on YouTube. You can catch us on Facebook and our Facebook group, Delay of Game. Catch us on Twitter at Delay of Game 3. And on Instagram at the official Delay of Game. Week one is in the books. We had one big injury. We'll talk about that. We had some good games. We had some sorry games. We had some games go how they thought they were going to go. We had some games that totally surprised us. But Brian is hosting tonight. Go ahead and start us off, Brian.
All right. Thank you, Marcus. I appreciate that. And you're right, man. This NFL season had a lot of twists and turns to start this year off right. Teams we thought were going to do very well did not do well. Teams that we didn't see coming actually did pretty good. So let's go ahead and get this started. First thing we're going to do is we're going to knock out this news of the week, and we're going to start that off with Marcus.
New York Jets head coach Robert Saleh doesn't know why people are trying to put an obituary on his team. Saleh was quoted as saying, "Aaron is an unbelievable piece of this whole thing, and we love him. But I think there's 52 other guys in the locker room, plus the 16 practice squad guys, that believe we can do a hell of a lot of good things here. We got a championship kind of defense. We got great skill guys on the offensive side of the ball. Our offensive line has continued to get better, gel and get better, but we're excited about our group." Bullshit.
Yeah, big. I mean, your offensive line is the reason why your quarterback got hurt. So I wouldn't have put that part in there, but I'll give you all the defensive stuff.
The reason why people are writing the obituary because you played your whole season around Aaron Rodgers and he's no longer there. So bullshit.
Well, in his defense, every NFL team puts their whole season around the quarterback. So
This is what he has to say. He can't just stand up there and go, "Yeah, it's over."
Yeah. Oh yeah. Right. The season's over. Sorry, guys. I'm about to get fired.
Hey, I'm surprised out of all the people Aaron Rodgers was asking to come in there to join him, he didn't put an offensive lineman in there.
I mean, but Aaron hasn't had a great offensive line really his whole career. I mean, he had like a couple guys, like he had that one dude in Green Bay who kept staying injured. So, I mean, you expect him, and most of the time, that play is pretty routine. He normally spins out of it, and then it's a big play afterwards. So that's part of his game too, is extending the play. So
it was a freak thing.
Yeah. They're saying because the Cowboys toe up that turf, beating up on the Giants, that's what caused it. Okay. All right, Herman. Herman, what's...
You know what? I'm cut the show early. We don't need to do the show. We see how they play back channel.
Go ahead, Brian.
Herman, what's...
Go ahead, Brian.
Marcus, that joke was funny last week, not this week.
Yeah.
Herman, please read your story of the week.
All right. So back in May, owners approved a 1-year experimental rule that would spot the ball at the 25-yard line, even if kickoff returns called for a fair catch inside the 25. The league recorded a historically low 20.5% kickoff return rate as a result of this new rule. The rule also deterred teams from using the pop-up kickoff technique, trying to pin teams deep in their own territory. So another rule for safety, 1 year experimental rule. I guess we'll see at the end of the year whether they adopt it or not.
I mean, from that story, it sounded like it's actually making kickoffs worse.
Well, that's what they want. They don't want kickoffs.
And you're right. Eventually, I think they want to get that out the game altogether, but
yeah,
it's going to be a sad day in the NFL when we don't have kickoffs anymore.
Yeah.
I mean,
all right, the next.
Are people really getting that hurt over kickoff? I mean, for all the injuries in the NFL, are kickoffs really the ones that are?
Apparently they are. Did you hear about what happened to the Giants player in practice? He had to be placed on a backboard and carted off the field today in practice. Guess what part of practice it was? They was doing kickoff.
Damn.
So
you would think in practice that your own teammate wouldn't try to kill you.
Right. You would think.
I guess he wasn't wearing a red jersey.
I guess not. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Week 2 NFL rankings goes as follows. The 49ers jump up 3 spots to be number 1. The Chiefs drop 1 spot there, now number 2 after losing to the Lions. The Eagles also dropped from number 2 to number 3 despite beating the Patriots. The number 4 Dallas Cowboys jump up 4 spots in the ranking. The Dolphins also dropped up 3 spots from last week. The Lions come in next, and they had the biggest jump of the week. They jumped 5 spots, so they're at number 6 now. Jaguars are up 2 spots at 7. The Bills dropped the most this week. They dropped 5 spots. They are now the number 9 team. And then the Jets actually come up a spot, even though they lost Aaron Rodgers for the season. I'm sorry. The Jets are number 9, and they're in spite of losing Rodgers. And then number 10 is the Ravens, and they slid 3 spots, even though they did win. Mark.
All right. Last story I got is the AFC Player of the Week. It was Tua, who flat out.
Tua who, Mark?
Tagovailoa, Logan. You know who it is. He was phenomenal as he turned out in an all-time season opener performance Sunday against the Chargers. 466 yards passing, with the 4th most in the Week 1 history. He finished his day with 28 completions at 45 attempts, 3 touchdowns, and a quarterback rating of 110. Also, I want to mention the other offense of NFC offensive player was Brandon Ayuk, 129 yards, 8 receptions, 2 touchdowns. The AFC defensive player was Jordan Whitehead with 3 interceptions in the game to help the Jets come back and beat the Bills. And then the last one is the NFC player of the week, Jesse Bates for the Atlanta Falcons. His first year.
Real quick, Jordan Whitehead, they got the 3 interceptions. He got a $250,000 bonus from that game because he had
in one game.
3 interceptions. He did it in the first game of the week. Thanks, Josh Allen.
Jesus, we got to get to that story, but we will later on. Next off, we got to get into these hot topics. So we got a few topics we want to talk about before we get to the games from last week, and then we'll get to our predictions for this week. The first hot topic we have, well, actually, Marcus, are we going to do the segment?
Yeah.
Okay. So today we do actually have something, huh?
That's why it's number 1.
Shut up. So today we do have a new segment for you guys. It's called Darian's Corner. Darian has been a previous guest on the show and is currently a high school football coach in Virginia. He actually will be breaking down a play from one of last week's games that intrigued him. So Marcus, go ahead and run the clip.
What's going on, the Leg Game viewers? Welcome to the first edition of Darian's Corner. We're going to break down one play from each NFL week, man. We're just going to get into the nitty gritty of how things happen, the X's and O's, and really show y'all what's going on with NFL football. So before we start, man, let me say thank you to the guys at the Leg Game for giving me my own segment. It's definitely an honor. Y'all may have seen me on a couple episodes before talking shop with the guys, so I'm definitely not a stranger to the episode. But let me say thank you again to them, and thank you for y'all for tuning in. So let's go ahead and get straight into it. So we're going to get to this Vikings and Buccaneers game from the 1 o'clock window on Sunday. So right here we got a 3rd and 11 situation, obvious passing down. So the the Buccaneers are out in their 4-2 scheme. So you're going to have 5 defensive backs on the field, 2 linebackers. Basically, it's going to be a nickel coverage. So what you're going to see here is, let me speed it up for y'all a little bit. Okay, so Minnesota is in the formation that we call trio. So you got a 3-by-1 set, 3 receivers, 1 to the boundary side. The personnel is what we call 11 personnel. So that's going to be 1 running back and 1 tight end. So the concept that they're going to run is basically going to be a variant of what we call flood. So from your number 1 receiver, that's going to be Jordan Addison. He's going to run basically what's called a skinny post route. So we're going to take that about 8 to 10 yards vertical, and we're just going to break here at about a 45-degree angle, kind of aiming towards the goalpost in the middle of the field. So what you're going to get from your number 2 receiver here, your slot, that's going to be Justin Jefferson. Is going to run about an 8-yard out route. Basically just going to be taking that vertically 8 yards, breaking out flat at a 90-degree angle here. And from your number 3 receiver, that's actually going to be TJ Hawkinson, the tight end. He's going to run a speed out, or what we call an arrow route. So the defensive coverage, we basically have a variant of cover 4. This boundary side corner is kind of locked, but at the same time, you're still going to play over the top. So from these 3 here, they're going to split the rest of the field. So you're going to have 24. I believe that's Carlton Davis. He's basically going to be responsible for this quarter of the field. 23 is going to be responsible from pretty much the top of the numbers up until the hash. And I believe this is Antoine Winfield Jr. here. He's going to be responsible pretty much from the middle of the hash to anything about here between the numbers and this hash. So getting into the play here, first thing you're going to see is that these 2 linebackers are responsible for essentially what's known as the hook area to the flat area. So once that they see TJ Hawkinson and the running back are occupying both flat areas, they're basically going to go ahead and commit. You're going to have Kirk Cousins taking the 3 to 5 step drop and reading here. Essentially what he's going to be looking for is, do the safety in the corner have eyes in the backfield, and which wide receiver have they committed to? So right now it looks as if Justin Jefferson is going to have leverage here to break this out right open, but essentially what happens is he ends up drawing most of the attention, obviously because of his status as a top receiver in the league. So basically what that's going to happen is, for the play a little bit, you're going to get attention here, and Jordan Addison is going to slip right behind this corner. Now, when we see the back angle, we'll see why this is a good cover 4 beater, because what's going to happen is this safety that's sitting on the hash also gets caught with his eyes on Justin Jefferson, again, because he knows this is the number 1 threat almost in the entire NFL, arguably. So let's run that forward a little bit, as we're going to watch Jordan Addison get a little nasty here. Alright, so one more time. So like I said, you're going to have Justin Jefferson breaking on this out route, and you're going to have Jordan Addison running this post route here. So now if you take a look at the DB's eyes, 24, Carlton Davis, eyes hard on Justin Jefferson. Number 23, the safety on the hash, he's also looking at Justin Jefferson because, number 1, he's actually his immediate threat, what we call. So the closest receiver to the DB, we'll call that the immediate threat. However, like we said, just knowing personnel and scheme-wise and tendencies of a team, they likely knew that Kirk Cousins likely to go to Justin Jefferson, these type of 3rd and 11 passing obvious situations. So once again, we see here, this is the point where this safety gets his eyes on Jordan Addison. Now, like I mentioned earlier, this was the point where Jordan Addison realized that he would be going for a touchdown, because the number 1 rule in the secondary is what? If we're even, we're leaving. So right here, this is his assignment. He's equal on the 20-yard line. At this point, Addison, he knows he's going to break. At this point, Addison knows he's going to break off and have a step. I believe Kirk Cousins has already let the ball go by this point. And Davis just cannot catch up. He's just not fast enough. So one more time from the back angle. So we're going to have this corner responsible for this portion of the field. This safety is going to be responsible for essentially this portion of the field. Here is going to be responsible for here. And they actually did end up dropping 1 over the top to show a true cover 4. So this corner is pretty much going to be responsible for sitting on anything between the flat and this deep quarter. So once again, you see Justin Jefferson breaking off his out route, and he's attracting 2 DBs once again, since he's personnel-wise, the number one threat. However, Jordan Addison was such a good addition for the Vikings this year for plays just like this, because you literally have 1, 2, 3 DBs essentially flowing towards Justin Jefferson and another one out of position. Allows Jordan Addison to slip right underneath. Boom. Touchdown. Well, as you can see, Vikings tend to draw up some nice little concepts with these two wide receivers that they have. And for being real, Jordan Addison was a nice little upgrade from Adam Thielen being in number 2 as far as like taking away so much stress from Justin Jefferson, winning in single coverage on the backside, things like that. So I think we can look forward to seeing a lot more things from Kevin O'Connell and this here Viking squad. I'm not too sure if they're going to make the playoffs, but they can definitely give a lot of secondaries fits if they're going to be drawing up nice little concepts like this and getting their playmakers out of space. So once again, thank y'all for tuning in to Darian's Corner, man, and I'll see y'all next week.
Thank you, Darian.
That was awesome. That was awesome. The whole time he's talking, I'm thinking, oh, he's leaving. And Darian hit it right on the head. And the other thing too, we saw too is you saw Kurt had a nice clean pocket. He had, by the time the pressure was coming, that ball was released. So that was awesome. That was awesome. Thank you, Darian. We definitely look forward to doing that again in the future. That was very insightful and very informative. And I'm gonna need for you to lighten up on the deep voice because I'm tired of you being a grown person. All right, so now we're going to get
wait. There's still more announcement. So since you missed it, Dane will be releasing a new breakdown each week, which will be released on the Lev Game YouTube and Facebook platforms. Please like and share and subscribe to Darian's Corner. And probably every other week we'll be featuring those clips actually in the show. So, but they'll always be available on YouTube and Facebook. Now you can go, Brian.
All right. So now we're going to have a quick conversation, a quick hot topic on a topic that we were kind of curious about. The first one we're going to have is 14 black quarterbacks started on week 1. Do you guys believe that the stereotype of the black quarterback not being able to win is dead and gone, or do you think it still permeates in the NFL? We'll start this one off with Marcus.
I mean, well, obviously, I believe it's dead and gone. If you have 14 black quarterbacks starting week 1, obviously it's dead and gone. I mean, Patrick Mahomes is a black quarterback. He's been to the Super Bowl 3 times, won twice, been an MVP twice. Cam Newton has been to a Super Bowl. He didn't do too great in that Super Bowl, but he's been. Russell Wilson has been twice. Who else has been? Donovan McNabb has been. So I don't believe the stereotype is not there anymore. The NFL has changed drastically, especially in its passing game, and it's looking for athletic quarterbacks who can move around and don't have to stay in the pocket. And that's why you have these 14 black quarterbacks starting this past week. And I think I would like to give a lot of the credit, even though I really don't like him that much. I don't think he was all that great, but he was an MVP once. For the modern black starting quarterback, I think a lot of that credit goes to Cam Newton. Once he was drafted that 1 year, I always say the next year the reason why RG3 got drafted is because of Cam Newton. So I give Cam Newton the credit for the modern day starting black quarterback. Of course, we know we have Warren Moon and Randall Cunningham, names like that. But yeah, I don't think it's a stereotype anymore.
You might be forgetting one pretty famous black quarterback, Marcus.
Oh, Doug Williams.
Doug Williams.
No, heck no.
Yes, he won Super Bowl.
No, I'm talking about the modern day ones that you were talking of.
I said Russell Wilson. I said
I'm talking about before Cam. Before Cam.
Donovan McNabb.
No.
Well, who?
He was the biggest thing in the NFL forever.
Michael Vick. My bad.
Michael Vick. Yes.
Michael.
Yes. But on your point, I do agree. I think the stereotype is actually dead. Not only are they starting it, but they're being drafted, and pretty much on a regular basis. And not only that, they're being drafted number 1, which is phenomenal now. So I do think that stereotype is definitely dead and gone. And that's one thing that I'm happy. So the next step we got to do is just get more head coaches and more personnel in the office, owners and things, and I think everything will be good. But kudos to the NFL to finally realizing that it doesn't matter the color of your skin, it matters what kind of talent that you bring to the table. Mark.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you all that the stereotype is long and gone. Before you had the quarterbacks that came out of college, they wanted to change their position. You had Tony Dungy changing the defensive back. You had Warren Moon. You had a couple of quarterbacks that had to go to Canada and play. Tracy Ham. You had Damian Allen, which is Marcus Allen's brother, and it gets success there. So nowadays they're not making them or asking them to change their position. They're dividing offenses around what their skill type is now. So yeah, and you look at it. You look at the Anthony Richardson. You look at Stroud. Both these offensive coordinators are designing plays for him. So yeah, I think the stereotype has gone with the modern day quarterback, and this is fantastic. I love it.
Mark, you brought up a good point too, because you remember when his name just jumped off the head. The Ravens quarterback,
Lamar
Jackson, when he was coming out. I remember they were trying to make him switch positions, but he was insistent on wanting to be a quarterback, and now he's one of the top 10 quarterbacks in the league.
Yep.
I mean, what you think? Is it dead and gone? Or is it still alive?
It's still alive, and I'm sorry, I have to totally disagree with you guys. Is it dying? Yes, it is starting to die. Is it dead and gone? Hell no, it's not dead and gone. And examples of why it's not dead and gone. One thing is that the black quarterbacks are way more criticized than the white quarterbacks are. They still are. Secondly, teams will throw away a black quarterback in a heartbeat, but they'll have this prototypical white quarterback on their roster who's shown you he cannot play, but they continue to get opportunity after opportunity after opportunity. And I'll give you an example of a away quarterback. The San Francisco 49ers traded away a house full of draft picks and threw away Trey Lance. But Wilson, who was the number 1 draft pick, is still with the Jets, and he's trash. Plain and simple. Zach Wilson is trash. So that's when you know that the stereotype is not dead and gone. Is it dying? Yes, it is dying, but it is still there. Black quarterbacks are way more criticized than white quarterbacks are, and black quarterbacks don't get as many opportunities the stereotypical 6-foot pocket passer white quarterbacks get.
How is Mahomes? Mahomes is never criticized. Mahomes is never criticized.
He's that's
true. That's true. There was a million people giving them excuses on that interception. So Marcus kind of makes a good point.
Yeah, they were giving him, but has anybody crucified Josh Allen this week? Yeah.
A little bit, yeah.
He's got criticism.
He's gotten some. Yeah.
What game was watching? Okay. I think it might have been the Jets game. He threw a pick, and the announcer said, well, that's just as good as a punt. Because it was on third down.
They've said that a couple times. They've said, I've heard.
Black quarterbacks don't get black quarterbacks.
That must have been Josh Allen throwing deep.
The quarterbacks do not get that. Again, I will say it is changing, but it is far from gone and dead. It is far from gone and dead.
Your opinion is never biased. Because you're talking about Dak.
How is it biased?
Because you're talking about Dak's criticism. And Dak is getting that criticism because he's a cowboy. Not because he's black, but because he's a cowboy.
I know it's because he's a cowboy. I didn't even mention Dak. But the bottom line is the truth is that the black quarterbacks are broken down a whole lot harder and criticized a whole lot more than the white quarterback. Tell me why Zach Wilson is still the Jet. Why is he still got on a roster?
Because they need a backup quarterback.
Because they drafted him.
They traded away Mike White.
He's shown years. Already shown you at least, what is this, his third year?
He wasn't supposed to be starting.
He has shown you 3 years of trash. Who's the backup to Brock Purdy right now?
Sam Darnold.
Yeah,
Sam Darnold.
He has shown you years of trash already. You know he can't play.
You need a backup
quarterback.
You need a backup quarterback.
My point is and there's more of them. Come on, oh God, who was Darian? If you're still watching, who was the one quarterback that made all that money as a backup quarterback? And
he just retired. He was with the Chiefs. Chase Daniels.
Was it Daniels or was it another one?
It was Chase Daniels.
Okay, Daniels.
There was another one that drafted by the. He was the number one draft pick. He was the last one to get paid big money, and then he played the Rams. He played for the Eagles.
Oh,
Sam Darnold. No, it's not Sam Darnold, but Sam.
You talk Sam Bradford.
No, Bradford. Yeah, Bradford.
Another one. That's what I'm saying. You see how these white quarterbacks continue to get these chances after chances after chances, but black quarterbacks don't do that.
I don't know, Herman. You got what's the name over the Seahawks quarterback? Now he was a backup for a while. Geno Smith. He was a number one pick. And then the dude that played, he just played the other night. He just did mop-up duty for the Giants. And he was the one that got stuck in the chest.
Tyrod Taylor.
He's still in the league, and he's been a backup for a long time.
Teddy Bridgewater.
Teddy Bridgewater.
He's not in the league anymore, I don't think.
Yeah, Bridgewater's in the league. He's the backup in
Detroit.
The Lions. It's
far less black quarterbacks that stay as long as these white ones do that basically, they had the potential, they had the ceiling. It's not dead and gone. It is dying. Yes, I will agree that it is changing, but it's far from dead and gone. And nothing you can say convinced me of that.
That's true. I appreciate a different perspective on the conversation. That's really what I was looking for anyway. Nice job, Marcus and Mark.
Why don't you give us these notes before the show starts, sir?
That thing has been up there since like Sunday.
No.
Let's keep the show moving. Look, just real quick. Colt McCoy just got cut from the Cardinals. Trash.
He was a number one draft pick too, though. He was a number one draft pick.
He only got cut because the Cardinals are tanking for another black quarterback.
Exactly. That's the only reason he got cut.
And Herman, he did get cut for a black quarterback.
Huh?
He got cut for a backup black quarterback. So
they could tank. Yeah.
That was a good one. I'm glad we talked about that one. All right, the next one. All right, so a couple episodes ago, we did our picks for the season. After week 1, which team do you want to change your prediction on? We'll start off with Mark.
I mean, the way we played, my prediction gonna change.
Now, what did you have them predicted to do, Mark? Where were they headed?
I had them at 10-7.
And in the playoffs?
And in the playoffs, yeah.
Okay. So you think that one game? You did play the Niners. You don't think that makes a difference?
It's how they lose the game, man. They got ran up and down.
But do you think that the fact that y'all didn't run the ball either played a big part in that?
You couldn't run the ball.
But y'all only tried 9 times. So how do you know?
Good Lord.
They stopped it. They stopped the run
9 times. I think you got to keep going more than 9 times.
They set the tone early. They set it early.
Okay.
Yeah.
Herman, who you got?
Real quick, I have to say between them and Miami, to be honest with you, between them.
Where'd you have Miami?
I think Miami. I had them at I think 9-7 or something. I had them at the middle road.
And out of the playoffs.
And yes, not in the playoffs, right? Yeah.
Okay. All right, Herman. What team did you pick?
Well, the easy pick was the Jets, but I think we would all change that. Maybe, I don't know. Some people might have picked. But I'm gonna go with Chicago. Oh my God, terrible. I only had them 9-8 and in the playoffs, but man, they were terrible. And Mark Boyd, Claypool, what the bruh? Why is he even on the NFL roster right now?
And look, you wonder why we get rid of these wide receivers, right? You wonder why.
Yeah.
That one year in Pittsburgh, I had him on fantasy. He did me all right.
But the rest of them was winning in garbage.
But man, the Packers came out there as if Brett Favre was, or Aaron Rodgers on the field. Yeah, and just dominated the Bears. I was like, okay, that's it. Like, wow. So So Chicago would be my pick.
Marcus, who's yours?
Well, Herman just said the easy pick would be the Jets, but the thing is with me, I said the Jets were going to be sorry. So even with Aaron Rodgers, so there's nothing to change there. But I might have to change my mind about the Green Bay Packers. I had them being sorry as hell, and this might be a week one overreaction. But if I had to pick anybody, it'd be Green Bay because I surely had them at the bottom, the very, very bottom. Didn't think much of them, but they did look pretty good against the Chicago Bears. But you might have taken into account who they played because I had the Chicago Bears are sucking, and they're gonna suck. So.
Yeah, if I had to take one back, I think it would be Tennessee. Had a little too anxious about Tennessee.
You had them number one.
I didn't have them number one, but they were number 3, and I did have them winning that division. Don't look that good. So if I could take one back, Tannehill, you're terrible. Okay, just change your name to terrible, and just go away because you're awful. All right, so that one was pretty quick, and that's good because we are eating up the clock. Let's get into these games that we had last week. We'll start off with the first game, which was the Thursday night game. It was the Lions at the Chiefs. The Lions won 21-20. The Lions actually amassed 368 offensive yards on 70 plays. The Chiefs had 316 yards on 62 plays. The Lions were 5 for 15 on third down and 1 for 3 on fourth. The Chiefs were just as bad. They were 5 for 14 on third down and 0-1 on fourth down. Each team had a turnover. The Lions fumbled, and we all know the pick that the Chiefs threw. Time of possession was won by the Lions, 32 minutes and 38 seconds to 27 minutes and 27 seconds. This particular game, I did pick the Lions, and I was actually correct. I thought I was going to lone wolf this one, but I didn't. So we'll start with Herman. Who did you have?
Yeah, I had the Chiefs on this one. Defending champs, opening Thursday night. They don't usually lose. But this game went bad fast without Kelsey. You can see the difference in the offense, and then his other receivers were just dropping passes. I mean, that one pick, it's a pick. It's on Mahomes statistically, but that hit who was that? Was that Tony?
Yeah, Darius Tony.
Hit him. You can't hit it with that square in the hands better than that, honestly. Ball popped right out. So I had the Chiefs. I got this one wrong. The one thing that I did notice and didn't get with Detroit, I guess they did run the ball a lot, but I felt like their offensive coordinator was passing too much. You're going over against a Chiefs team without their starting defensive tackle, and you don't have a superstar quarterback. You have a bus driver quarterback in Jared Goff. Run the ball. Just run the ball more. You got 2 dynamic running backs, which one you drafted in the first round and you only gave him 7 carries. Don't understand that either. But you got 2 dynamic running backs. Run the ball. So I picked the Chiefs. I got it wrong. It was, I think, the shocker of the week.
Marcus?
Yeah, I picked the Chiefs. Just like Herman just said, it's a shocker of the week. I don't think it was because they missed Kelsey so much. It's because the receivers kept dropping balls. That was the most ridiculous thing I ever seen in my life. I don't see how, they should have made Kadarius Toney run laps around the whole stadium after that game over. Because he's the reason why they lost that game. Plain and simple. He's the reason why they lost that game. And this dude had the nerve to delete his social media account after the KC fans went in on him and then got back on the clown the New York Giants.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, but maybe you should sit this one out. And I was like, you told me, Herman, maybe we should sit this one out. Sit this one out. And so, I think they could have still won that game without Kelsey. Who they really missed was Chris Jones because they got no pressure on Jared Goff at all. At all. That's who, and that's like Herman said. That's why he got signed this week. That's who they really missed. And when they showed that video shot of him sitting there with the 2 dudes who I think were probably his agents.
Yeah, they were his agents.
Yeah, looking all smug. That said everything. He knew. That's why he was sitting. He was like, "Watch what happens. So that's who Kelsey, they could have still won the game without. It was Chris Jones.
I don't know, Marcus. I think they would have put up way more points with Kelsey. I think that Mahomes was stuck with those dudes. I think at a certain point in that game, he would have just fed Kelsey, and I think they would have scored more points than that and won that game.
I mean, true, but they still could have won if Darius Tony hadn't dropped all them passes. They still could have won.
But I mean, what's like 3rd and 6, and you need your security blanket. You need somebody that's going to catch the damn ball and get this.
But also, like I said, no pressure on Goff at all. Goff at all, they doing what he wanted to do back there. I mean, how many times you gonna roll out the? I mean, they was doing the same play the whole game. Roll out, bam, over there. Can nobody? I mean, come on, man. But I picked the Chiefs, and I was wrong. That was probably the biggest upset for me.
All right, Mark. So me and you, we both down here. So who did you have?
I took the Lions too, man. The Lions came out, managed to hold on and beat the Chiefs without their 2-star players on offense and defense. This is the Chiefs' first season loss since 2014.
And Mahomes' first one in the first game of the season of his career.
Yeah. Correct. Yeah, Detroit, they came to play on Monday Night Prime Time. The early fourth and short that they went for in their territory was surprising to me. And that interception, it turned the tide, because if Kansas City went down and scored, that game could have been 21-7 instead of being 14-14 with an interception. So that was a big turning point in that game. Kansas City was 0-7 on 3rd downs in the second half. 0-7. That you can't run that offense like that with being that terrible on 3rd down. So Kansas City got some work to work on, and the Lions, they biting them kneecaps. They coming.
Hey, Mark, and why did they go for it on like 4th and 25 with all their timeouts? They had all their timeouts.
The defense was garbage.
But their defense was garbage too.
Yeah, before you ain't got no 4th and 25 play. I don't care, especially without Kelsey on the field.
They almost got it, though. That's the thing.
They did. They almost did. They almost got
it. What is almost on the count here?
Scott Walker dropped it. Scott Moore.
So again, you're throwing to garbage. Garbage in, garbage out. Hey, and to be honest with you, I don't think Eric Bieniemy would have had any success with those receivers either. So I don't think that's it.
and the one thing about that game is, you always feel like, oh, Mahomes got a chance, he's coming back. I didn't really feel like that.
Yeah,
I did because that couple of those drives, he was just making magic on his own. He was making plays last longer and begging your receiver, just catch the ball and do something with it, please. A couple of those scores was all Mahomes for real.
Mahomes already proved to me, as long as he's on that field, they got a chance.
Yeah, that's true.
I didn't feel like it though. I didn't feel like it was there. I didn't feel like it was there in the 4th quarter. I was like, I knew they weren't gonna win that game in the 4th quarter. I knew.
All right, so we're going to go to the next game, which the 49ers at the Steelers. Mark's especially excited about this one. Wasn't a good game for the Steelers. They lost 30-7 at home. The Niners dominated with 391 yards of offense on 66 plays. They were 6 of 13 on 3rd down and 1-1 on 4th down. They did have a fumble. They did win time of possession. And the only other negative that I can tell you is that the Niners did have 11 penalties on 85 yards. For some strange reason, I picked the Steelers. I guess I was drinking that preseason juice. And, that's something more that Marcus would do and not me. And I'm very ashamed of myself. I apologize to you guys for picking the Steelers. I'll never pick the Steelers again. All right, Herbert, who did you have in this one?
Yeah, for some reason I picked the Steelers too. Looking back, I'm just like, but I mean, basically, I think this game came down to the Steelers could not run the football. You have a young quarterback who's still getting his experience down. You can't have him throwing for 46 attempts and expect to win the game. It's not going to work. Wasn't impressed with the 49ers at all. They beat up on I'm not going to say it. I'm sorry. I backtracked that. Brady was 3 times. He needs to get some more pocket presence, awareness.
This dude,
But yeah, the Steelers winning. It's not easy to win in Pittsburgh, but you're playing a team with a young quarterback, and the one thing they did was they did shut their run down, and that changed everything. Christian McCaffrey, 22 carries, 152 yards, 1 touchdown. Only thing about that type of workload throughout the season is going to wear them down. So they better figure out a way to make sure they can balance that. So, but yep, I picked the Steelers, and I won't be picking them again. Like Brian said, I got it wrong.
Marcus, real quick. What is this dude talking about? Some Go Purdy. I could have swore he was down with your squad, so I'm a little confused.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Please explain that. I mean, is he confused by the colors?
Yeah, it must be. It must be.
Because we're not Purdy haters like yo. We see what we
Both
see.
Both of them are swinging. Seem to be swinging on his.
Just realize they are on y'all schedule this week too. So I hope you root for Purdy too.
Yeah, go Purdy.
Not this week, but this year.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, Marcus. So since I asked you a question, who did you pick?
I did pick the 49ers. Now, I did have, in the preseason predictions, I did have the Steelers highly rated, and I still stick by it. They just was unprepared. First week, this like the first week overreaction. This, they're not going to lose like this again. They just weren't prepared. The 49ers are who we thought they were. And now I'm still ready to crown them. So, I have to disagree with you, Darian. I think Purdy is the real deal. When he whips the Cowboys in the playoffs, you're gonna see he's the real deal. I picked the 49ers.
I mean, it's his opportunity week 5, so
it's gonna be 2 times this year. That's great. I picked the 49ers and I was right.
And look, okay, this 2-team thing, no. You got 2 wives.
We don't address people.
I don't have 2 teams.
I'm not talking to you. Read the line. Read things.
We don't.
You have one heart. Give your heart to one team. Okay. We'll hear about this second team stuff. That don't make any sense. That don't float.
Exactly.
Pick a team and stick with it. Live and die with that team.
My second favorite team.
All right, Mr. Park. I saved you for last for a reason. Who did you have?
Some people do have multiple wives, Brian.
They don't.
Yes, they do.
Not in America. It's called polygamy.
In the world, it's very common. Okay.
All right. This ain't sister wives. Okay. This is the NFL. I'm sorry, Mark. The floor is yours.
I took the Steelers in this one. Brock Purdy looked good. 49ers blew out the Steelers on the road. I mean, he's coming off the elbow injury, which he looked. It was a legitimate reason to wonder if he was going to regress. But he looked good, man. But I took the Steelers and we lost.
Marcus, who did you pick?
I picked the 49ers.
Why don't you? He didn't lone wolf that?
He did. We don't have sound effects.
Oh, I did lone wolf that? Hold on there.
We don't have sound effects.
Let's move on. Let's move on. He didn't even know.
Baby.
He didn't even know. Let's move on. And again, to pick a team based on where you live is ridiculous. I don't want to hear about this DC, AFC, Steelers, NFC. No. You have one team. It's very simple. You can't play for 2 football teams. So if you're in the NFL, you can't play for 2 teams. You can't root for 2 teams. That's just how it goes. Moving on. Stop making that noise. It sounds terrible.
That's right. That doesn't even sound like, well, yeah, please get to the next game.
The next game we had was, again, one of the shocker games that we picked. The Packers went down to the Bears and won 38-20. Green Bay was dominant on offense, but the defense was strong as well. They sacked Fields 4 times, got a pick, and only allowed 3 first downs on 13 attempts.
You'd like to FaceTime? No problem. I won't. Who?
What?
Really? What are we doing?
What?
Oh my God.
Herman, who did you have in this one?
I picked the Bears in this one because I was rolling off of my first picking the Bears to get into the playoffs this year. And boy, was I wrong. I mean, the Bears were at home. Packers didn't have Aaron Rodgers. You just knew this was the Bears coming out party. And basically, the Bears stunk it up. Justin Fields wasn't protected. He was sacked 4 times. He threw the ball 37 times. And the Bears actually rushed. They have pretty good rush numbers, 29 total carries as a team for 122 yards. Green Bay just basically was like, when you own a team, Green Bay just came out basically like, we still own the Bears, and they won the game and beat them. I don't know what to make of the Bears now at this point. So I picked the Bears, and I got it wrong.
All right. Who did you pick, Mark?
Yeah, I took the Bears in this one too. I got it wrong. Jordan Love answered the bell though. He came out. He looked pretty sharp. He looked good. The running game helped with Aaron Jones. The Packers defense had some big moments too. Quay Walker's interception return on that play helped boost them and get the Packers the lead. The Bears. I don't know what to say, but yeah, I took the Bears and lost this one.
Yeah, I was with you guys. I also chose the Bears. I felt like Justin Fields was going to start this season like he kind of finished last season. I thought he was going to run all over that defense. I definitely underestimated Jordan Love. I did not see that offensive onslaught, the great play calling that they had, and I deserve to get this one wrong. Next time I know better. Green Bay is actually going to be okay without Aaron Rodgers. I don't know if they go in the Super Bowl and all that other stuff, but they're definitely going to be in the conversation, and you better pay attention when you go there. All right, Marcus, who did you have?
I also picked the Bears, not because I thought they were going to be any good, but because I heavily underestimated the Green Bay Packers. I've been saying for a while now, how the Packers had 30 years of Hall of Fame quarterback. What happens if Jordan Love turns out to be really good?
That's crazy. That can't be. That's like
Hall of Famer too. That's like 45.
Who sold their soul to the devil?
Exactly.
3 quarterbacks in a row.
What happens if he turns out to be a Hall of Fame quarterback? Huh?
I don't like Green Bay, but I want
3 quarterbacks.
I would love it if Jordan Love does wind up being a top level quarterback. I'm gonna love that for real.
That would be crazy, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would be.
But for all the years of Hall of Fame quarterbacks, still only got 2 Super Bowls.
Hey, they're always in the conversation though.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the next one. Now this one was a game. This was a game. The Dolphins against the Chargers. The Dolphins won 36-34. And this was none but offense. 536 yards on 65 plays for the Dolphins. 433 yards on 76 plays for the Chargers. The Chargers even ran the ball for a whopping 234 yards on 40 attempts. The Dolphins did throw 2 interceptions, and the Chargers' offensive line did allow 3 sacks, but that was really all you could talk about for the defense. Herman, who did you have in this one?
Who?
Herman.
Oh, well, of course I picked Dolphins because who's the offensive coordinator for the Chargers?
Stop. There were no curls in this
The
game.
man you love to hate. That's
there actually were some curl routes, but this was a good game. This was a good game though. But Tua, he came out. I don't like him necessarily throwing for 45 yards. If I'm the Dolphins, I'm going out and I'm getting Jonathan Taylor. They need to go get Jonathan Taylor. They said that, Taylor's passing his physicals now and that they think that the talks might heat up and make that trade. They need to go ahead and make that trade. They make that trade and the Dolphins are a Super Bowl, I think, contender, not just playoff contender. But they looked really good. Their offense looked really good, all the speed they have on offense. I was watching the game and I was like, the hell were the Chiefs thinking letting Tyreek Hill go? Like, what? They should have paid that man. That was
they won a Super Bowl without him. They won a Super Bowl.
I don't care. They wouldn't have just lost to Detroit with him. I agree with you on that one. And just real quick on the flip side for the Chargers, this was a typical Kellen Moore game. Great stats, but you don't come away with the W.
But you can't put this on the Chargers
I'm putting it
offense.
on.
Herman,
I just did.
Herman, 536 offense. Did they even play? Did they even check Tyreek Hill? I mean, he was all every time you turn around, he was past the D. Where were the safeties? It was an L. It definitely was an L, but I don't even think the Chargers brought a corner or a safety because every time I turn around, that dude was all by himself scoring another damn touchdown.
I'm just telling you, it's the Kellen Moore effect. That's all.
Yeah. In this game, too, I was with you, Herman. I did pick the Dolphins. I didn't expect them to win like this. I definitely didn't expect them to win like that. The game was fun.
You just lock up with that.
I'm back. Guess who's back? It's Marcus's.
That was it. I thought it was
but I had the Dolphins, and I picked this one correct. Marcus, who did you pick?
I picked the Chargers, and I might have to take the stand that I might not pick the Chargers no more again this year. Even though I did pick them to be in the playoffs. And I don't blame Kellen Moore. Who I do blame, and who might be the first coach fired this season, is Brandon Staley. I didn't get to watch the game, but did he go for the fourth down anytime?
I don't think so. But he's the defensive guru, so to allow 536 yards, you're right.
Here's the thing, and I heard this week on the news. They had the most money spent on defense, and you let Miami do this to you. But I'm not surprised. Brandon Staley is a sorry coach. Justin Herbert should pray that he's out of there as soon as possible. That's the only time. He's not going anywhere,
Marcus. He just signed in the contract. He just got paid.
No, Justin Herbert should pray Brandon Staley is out of there.
Okay.
So that he could be the quarterback everybody thinks he's going to be, and he can lead his team to win. Because I don't blame Kellen Moore for this. And every time I lose, I will blame Brandon Staley because he's been there and they've been losing.
Darian, don't be bringing up old stuff, okay? I don't need those type of memories. Yes, I remember. Trying to forget.
Yeah.
All right, Mark, who did you have?
Hey, I took the Chargers, Marcus. This might be the last time I'm taking the Chargers too this season. The Dolphins picked up right where they left off last year, with a healthy Tua. So we see how this is gonna last. Last year, it was a different game against Chargers. I think they only scored like 17 points. But the Tua and Hill combination is in sync. Look out for that one. Look out for it. But I took the Chargers.
And yes, the Chargers lost because they had the Cowboys' old offensive coordinator, which is why he's no longer our coordinator. Speaking of the Cowboys.
All right, we were done for the day. Thanks, y'all, for coming out. We appreciate y'all. See y'all.
Stop it. I told you that joke ain't funny no more. It was last week. Come up with some new stuff.
It's always funny.
Stop. The Cowboys went to MetLife Stadium Sunday night, and they put a whooping on them Giants, 40-0. The Cowboys only put up 265 yards on offense on 55 yards, but that was mainly due to the defense getting 3 INTs, a fumble recovery, a block punt for a touchdown, and they sacked Daniel Jones 7 times. The Giants only passed for 63 yards on 30 attempts. And the Giants never sniffed the end zone all night long. Hey, Marcus, who did you have in this game, buddy?
I picked the Cowboys. Obvious choice. Move on.
What do you mean, Marcus? Why did you pick the Cowboys?
I said what I said. Go to somebody else.
Mark, did you have the Giants winning this game, buddy?
I took the Cowboys. The Giants looked like they were stuck in mud. That's what they look like.
Well, speaking of that, you see that? Did you see that? What's his name? Helmet and face. I guess after he got tackled, all that black stuff all in his helmet.
Yeah, it was all on everybody's face. It was on Dak's face. It was on everybody.
Yeah, them fresh new fields.
Dallas had the 7 sacks and the forced fumbles and the interceptions. This was the largest shutout in the team's history. So I took the Cowboys, and who cares?
Well, you guys, I would never go against my boys. I picked the Giants in this particular game. It was one of the best Sunday night games I ever had. I was awake for the whole thing. I stayed up and listened to all the press conferences afterwards. I was very, very tired at work on Monday, I must admit. But it was all worth it. It was a circumference of a lot of good things. The Cowboys do have a great defense, but I think the weather played a big part in it. I think that the Giants could never get their running game going. I think that they wasn't holding on to the ball. We got some turnovers. Marcus, are you dead?
I'm dying from all this stupid conversation.
I think we got some all-time turnovers. What? Hey, look, they took the field just like we did. They went to practice and everything, and they drafted these guys, and they hung their wagon on that quarterback who was dead on the ground. And I still want to know why that coach had him out there in the fourth quarter still getting beat up. But I picked the Cowboys. It was a dominant victory. I'm not going to say we're going to do this every week, but I was very happy. All right, Herman, take us home. Who did you have?
Come on, man. You know I wasn't going to pick against my Cowboys. Dak Prescott basically owns the Giants. He has never
Who's
lost.
your daddy?
But this whole narrative all of a sudden that the Giants are sorry, considering they just came off a playoff season and won a playoff game, I don't understand. Oh, it's just because the Cowboys went up there and whooped them 40-0. Marcus and Maury, y'all remember that the Giants are sorry when they come into FedEx Field and whoop them sorry skins. All right, just remember that. Remember it, okay?
We're gonna beat them back. We're gonna beat them.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
Did he know? Does 4 plays count as showing up? I don't know if that does.
So, I picked them Cowboys, and they beat a playoff team from last year and shut them out 40-0.
Hey, Herman, the playoff team that kept Washington out of the playoffs.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Sure did, but
I mean, teams didn't make the playoffs. Beat Super Bowl champions last year. Okay.
Last year, I don't want to hear it. They only saw it now because they only saw
What
it now.
What about preseason? Does preseason still mean nothing? Something?
Let's move on. With 57-55. Come on, let's move on.
All right. Last game we're going to talk about was the game that everybody's talking about. The Buffalo Bills went down to Giants Stadium, and they ended up losing though, 16-22 in overtime. The Bills outgained the Jets 314 yards to 289. They ran more offensive plays, 68-53. They held time of possession, 33 minutes and 8 seconds to 27 minutes and 50 seconds. But they also turned the ball over 4 times to the Jets, and the Jets only turned over the ball once. They also allowed 5 sacks, and they didn't score enough points to win. I'm going to go first. I was dumb. I picked the Bills. I still think they should have won the game. I didn't know Josh Allen was going to be hero boy and kept throwing the ball to the other team, so I picked this one wrong. Mark, who'd you have?
Josh Allen name should be same shit, different day. That's his name. He lost the Bills. The 3 brutal interceptions. It was all his fault. This is the worst game Josh Allen played since he entered the league in 2018. Bills were up 13-3 going into halftime, and they blew it. Yeah, his nickname is same shit, different day. I took the Bills.
Herman, who did you have?
Yeah, I had the Bills, and they lost because of Josh Allen. Enough said. No, there's nothing else that needs to be said on this game. Josh Allen lost the game for the Bills.
I mean, you don't want to put a little some of that on the special teams for allowing a touchdown in overtime?
No.
Josh Allen.
I mean, he did get him down the field to kick the field goal for overtime. He did settle his butt down and have a nice drive on that play.
Josh Allen lost the game. I don't think I can say it any more clear.
Okay.
1 week is the TV, then the phone. Come on, bro. Get it together. Okay.
So what do you think, Marcus? Who won?
I picked the Bills, and if you figure you playing a team that was like 7-10 last year, and they hanged all their hopes on Aaron Rodgers, and he only gets in 4 plays, it should be game over. You're the Buffalo Bills. It should be game over. It shouldn't even be a game at that point. And you let these dudes beat you. I mean, as much as I hate to agree with Herman, even though I feel like he was wrong in the past, he's 100% right now. Josh Allen is trash. He is trash. He lost that game. He lost that game. The Bills didn't lose that game.
You know what? Now we're sitting there having this conversation. I might have to pick the Bills, not the Titans.
As a team to change.
I might take the Bills. Get a mulligan on the Bills.
Now I do believe that
you switching up.
The Bills will recover and they'll either be first or second in the division, probably second behind Miami. But like I said, it's only week one. You don't want to have a reaction, but he looked terrible. He's a turnover machine, and I'm off the Josh Allen bandwagon at this point.
Yeah, Josh Allen for MVP is dead.
Yeah, that's dead.
All right, real quick, how'd you guys do this week?
I went 2-4.
Yeah,
terrible.
2-4. What I did, I went 3. Okay, I did get one more than you. I got 3 because I picked the Lions.
Wait a minute, so we 3 of us were 2-4?
Yeah.
Good Lord, we all did that.
Yeah, we got to do better this week, guys. We got to do better. So we're late, so let's hurry up and get into these games.
And you know what pissed me off? My one wins was the stupid Cowboys win.
And that was the one you was hoping you got wrong. All right, Thursday night, tomorrow, the Vikings play the Eagles. Eagles are favored by 7. The predictor is all over the Eagles at 65%. Mark, who do you think is going to win this game?
I'm gonna take the Vikings in this one. I think Kirk Cousins come out there and do some dirt on that Eagles secondary and defense. I'm taking the Vikings in this particular game.
Marcus?
Mark, you must be an idiot. This is a prime game. We know Kirk Cousins' record on a primetime game. Now, I admit the Eagles' defense didn't look that great last week, and Jalen Hurts, he only put up pedestrian yards. But come on, it's freaking Kirk Cousins and the Vikings, and they lost to Bakerfield. Okay, I'm going with the Eagles. It's a home game. There's no way Minnesota's walking in on a primetime game and beating the Eagles. I'm taking the Eagles.
Yeah, I gotta agree with Marcus, man. I don't see it, Mark. The last time they played on Thursday night was a disaster. The Eagles ran all up and down them, beat them. I closed that game out early and went to sleep because I knew it wasn't a game at like halftime. I don't see this. I see the same thing happening. Again, like Marcus said, he lost to Bakerfield. How the heck are you going to lose to the Eagles? Give me the Eagles, unfortunately. Herman, I already know that Marcus is going to power.
Herman going to beat the Vikings too.
I don't. As bad as the Eagles didn't look great beating the sorry Patriots, but this is a home game for the Eagles on prime time. We know Kirk Cousins struggles on prime time, and they're on the road. If they was at home, I might go with the Vikings, but they're on the road. They're not going to beat Philly. Give me the Eagles as much as it pains me to pick them.
Oh, Mark Lone Wolf.
Lone Wolf.
Marcus, explain real quick what Bakerfield is.
I messed up his name one time. I meant to say Baker Mayfield, and I said Bakerfield. So now we just
and we liked it, so it sticks. His name is Bakerfield.
Yep, Bakerfield.
Feel free to steal it. All right, next game we're going to go is the Seahawks playing Sunday against the Lions. The Lions are giving up 6 points in this game. The home team gets the nod with the predictor at 65% again. In this one, I'm going to go first. I like the Seahawks in this one. I think the Seahawks get back on track. I think that the Lions have a big head. I don't think they can deal with success. So give me the Seahawks. Marcus, who you got?
I am definitely taking the Lions. I'm on the Lions bandwagon this year. I said they're going to win the NFC North, so I'm picking the Lions.
Herman?
Yeah, I'm going with the Lions on this one too. At home, I'm not buying into Seattle just yet. I don't believe in them. Give me the Lions. The Lions just won a tough road game. They are hyped right now. So, they've had longer to prepare for this next game too.
Mark.
I think you could be long with him, Brian. I'm taking the Lions on this one. I think the Lions going to be victorious in this game.
Man, let me go downstairs and find my hat. Ow! I'm at the school, you fellas. Y'all lost y'all minds. Y'all know who y'all picking? The Lions. Really? The Lions. I did it last week as a joke. Y'all doing it for real. All right, next game we got the Ravens at the Bengals. An old AFC North battle. Bengals actually giving up 3.5 in this game. This one's closer, but the home team still edges out the visitor by the predictor, 52% to 48%. We're going to say Mark for last on this one. We'll start with Herman. Herman, who you got?
I'm going with the Bengals. I think the Bengals will bounce back. I think Joe Burrow was rusty last week. Obviously, he was rusty last week. I think this should be a good game. It's a divisional game, but I think the Bengals are going to pull this one out. So give me the Bengals.
Yeah, Herman, I'm on your bandwagon too. I think the Bengals get back on track on this game. The Ravens didn't really play that great either last week. Lamar didn't look that good. I don't know if they're getting a tight end back this week, but he definitely missed them last week. But give me the Bengals. Mark, guess who you got?
I'm going to take the Ravens. I think the Ravens are going to go
What? I'm sorry, what? Y'all gotta stop smoking that stuff. Go ahead, Marcus. I'm sorry.
And that means the Bengals will be 0-2, but I think they'll be okay. They were 0-2 last year, and they went to the AFC Conference Championship. So I'm taking the Ravens. I'm drinking the purple Kool-Aid. Probably will be drinking it all year. Let's Lamar and them give me a reason not to.
All right, this is your division, Mark. Who you got? You can't pick both to lose.
It could be a tie.
Yeah, it could be a tie.
I'm taking the Bengals in this one. I'm going with the home team. They bounced back this week against their rivalry. I think the Bengals will come out victory with this one.
So Marcus Lone Wolf.
Woo!
Yeah, too bad we don't have a.
Not my fault.
Something to say. Yeah, this one is yours.
Not my fault.
All right. Next game we're going to talk about is an AFC East battle. We got the Dolphins at the Patriots, and this is Sunday night. The Patriots are giving up 2.5 in this game. The Dolphins actually are the first road team that the predictor is choosing. They're at 62%. Herman, who do you got?
Going with them Dolphins. Patriots. This is a divisional game. Patriots they didn't look good at all. The Dolphins looked really great on offense. I think they're going to hold Daniel Jones down. Mac Jones down. So give me the Dolphins.
Mark, who you got?
The Dolphins. I'm taking the Dolphins in this one. The Patriots defense is a little suspect for me.
I mean, the Patriots defense did pretty good against the Eagles last week. It took the offense forever to get back on track, but I'm with you guys. I don't see them slowing down that Dolphins offense. Not this early in the season. Maybe if it was cold in Foxborough, but right now it's sunny and warm. So give me the Dolphins. Marcus, you believe in Bill Belichick?
That would be a no. I'm taking the Dolphins. The Dolphins are they're two stacked skill player wise. Can anybody name one Patriots wide receiver? I can't.
Kendrick Bourne.
Okay, you just a bigger fan.
Juju.
Juju. Yeah.
But no, I think that I don't think the Dolphins gonna have the and Tua's gonna have the week he had last week. But Dolphins are obviously a superior team than the Patriots. I'm gonna go with the Dolphins.
All right. Next game we're going to talk about is the Monday Nighter. Now, there's 2 Monday night games this week. The first one is the Saints at the Panthers. The trend continues. The Saints are the second road team that the predictor favors at 62%. I'm going with the predictor too. I think that the Saints are going to win this game. The Panthers, they were okay in the first half, but you could tell that the young quarterback is still struggling. So give me the Saints. Mark, who you got?
Oh, when them Saints come marching in. Oh, when the Saints come. I'm taking the Saints, man.
Herman, you got believe in them Panthers?
No, sir. Give me the Saints away. You know, I picked them to win the division, so give me them Saints.
Yeah. Marcus?
I also picked the Saints to win the division. Yeah, I'm not sold on the Panthers yet. I do want to watch Bryce Young. I do. I'm looking forward to watching him play, but hey, they're not beating the Saints. I'm taking the Saints.
Time out. Why is he howling? Is he picking the Panthers? Is that why he's howling?
He must be.
Okay, there it is. Panthers and upset special. Yeah, you can be live on the air next week when they lose, just so we can make you wear that hat. Matter of fact, Mark, get his address. We got to send him a dunce hat so he can put that thing on. All right, last game for the week is the Browns at the Steelers. And this is also Monday night, another AFC North matchup. The Browns make it 3 for the away teams. They got the predictor has them at 60% to win this game. Also, the Browns are giving up 2 points. We will go with Marcus on this one. Who you got?
Steelers will bounce back. Browns not walking in the is it still called Heinz Field or no?
No, it's some weird name. Helimonari. Aquashore, yeah, Aquashore.
Yeah, well, they're gonna walk into they're not gonna walk into Pittsburgh Stadium and beat them. Steelers gonna bounce back. I think they're gonna what's his name? Kenny Pickett he's gonna make up for last week. I'm picking the Steelers.
Herman.
It's the last time I'm doing it. I'm picking the Steelers. If they don't win this game, Mark. Catch up field. But yeah, I just think the Steelers are going to bounce back. Divisional game. I think the Steelers pretty much kind of run this rival. So give me the Steelers.
Man, bump y'all. I learned my lesson last week, man. I'm going with Cleveland. Cleveland has a strong running game. Cleveland obviously has a defense. And if Deshaun is half of what he is going to be, I think Cleveland's going to win this game. Give me Cleveland. Mark, it's on you, dog.
There's one key to the Steelers not winning this game is that they can't stop the run. Without Cam Haywood, I'm taking the Browns. Yeah. I don't think the Steelers will pull it off.
Okay.
Give me the Browns.
Okay. So Steelers going to go 0-2. The Browns are going to be 2-0. And my prediction gets a little closer. And y'all can stop laughing at me.
That hurt his heart.
Who'd you pick, Mark?
He picked the Browns.
I got more faith in your team than you got in your own team. What's going on?
Well, I mean, you got faith in Washington too. So what does that say?
They can't. Marcus, they couldn't stop the run last week.
Yeah, how many yards did they run? Herman, do you remember? 2 something?
No, I closed it down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I closed it out. Sorry.
It don't matter. They didn't stop it, so it don't matter.
Yeah, and it was last week, so it's over with. All right, so we got our new ones in. Just real quick, we did talk about having you guys join us more on the show this year, so we will put that post up this week in there and start getting that started. Maybe next week, if not the very next one after that. Not next week, but the next episode. We got any final thoughts for today?
Yeah.
Anybody? Go ahead, Herman.
Josh Allen is terrible.
Stop it. Tell us something we don't know.
Just want to reiterate.
My final thought is thank you to Aaron Rodgers. It's pretty obvious you're going to probably retire now. I don't see you coming back from this injury. I think that was the last time we seen you on the field as a Jet. Going back with the Packers, sign your contract, go in the Hall of Fame and live your life in that little hole that you like to live in. So thanks for the memories.
You know what? And I forgot about that. So y'all play them this week, upcoming week, don't y'all?
Yeah, damn.
Gina. That was the only chance the Jets had of maybe winning.
I don't know about that now. The Jets have a phenomenal defense now.
Whatever. You're not gonna go
Okay.
You're gonna go in
The
there.
Bills have a good offense too, and you see what they did to the Bills offense.
They're gonna Cowboys gonna go in there with that, but I hate to admit it, but
Mark.
the chance they had.
Mark, you got a final thought?
Not really, man. Just have a safe and happy week.
And Marcus, you got anything to say?
I
Guys, like, share, and subscribe.
I just attended my brother Max's wedding over the weekend. It was a great wedding. I just want to congratulate him and his wife, Taylor. So congratulations, Max and Taylor.
Congratulations.
And nope, that is it.
You gonna tell them to like,
Oh,
subscribe?
okay, we out?
Yeah.
Before we get out of here, I want to encourage everyone to like, share, and subscribe, especially watching on YouTube. You can catch us on Facebook and our Facebook group, The Delay of Game. We're on Twitter at Delay of Game 3 and on Instagram at the official Delay of Game. And these two Bama's, I swear, they so pressed about beating the Star 18. And we will see you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. And don't forget to be on the lookout for Darren's Corner next week. Later.
Peace.